Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy for the Nintendo Switch. I hope you guys enjoy. I plan on streaming the whole game. Let me see, is everything fine? Yep, everything seems to be fine. What is it, kitty? Do you want out? No? No. Let's get started. Yeah, so for the record, I am playing this... Well, the first game I won't be playing blind, because I've already played it before, because I have it on the Nintendo DS, but I have never played the second and third game, or any other game in the series for that matter. First turnabout. Yep, let's go. Damn it! Why me? I can't get caught. Not like this. I've got to find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. The text could be scrolling faster. August 3rd. 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Boy, am I nervous. Right. Oh, hi, Chief. Ooh, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. It says a lot about you, and your client as well. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yes, actually I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over! My life, everything, it's all over! Is that your client screaming over there? Yeah, it's him. Death! Despair! Oh! I'm gonna do it! I'm gonna die! It sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. Nick! Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell them I'm guilty. I don't think so. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished. I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Oh, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death. The newspapers say it was you. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts, my best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That, and I owe him one, which is why I took the case, to clear his name. And that's just what I'm going to do. August 3rd, 10 a.m. District Court, Courtroom Number 2. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The, defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm, a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Hands shaking, eyesight fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. Well, you could make a mistake on purpose, but I won't. The defendant. Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Yeah, I think if you ever went to court and the judge had your attorney have to answer questions like this, I think you'd be in trouble. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name? Ooh, I knew this one. Glad I read the case report cover to cover so many times. It's... wait, uh-oh. No way, I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. Well, you can go through the record. Yes, Cindy. So it was Cindy then. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name? Oh, the victim. Of course I know the victim's name. I'm, just forgot. Temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. Well, I just had to look at it, so... I know. Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you. Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case? Cindy Stone? The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? Well, we saw it in the cutscene. She was hit with a blunt object. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then, first, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne? Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was? The murder weapon was the statue of the thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. Statue added to the court record. Statue. A statue in the shape of the thinker. It's rather heavy. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence headed during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition we have in court. Use the R button to check the court record frequently. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Uh-oh, Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Ahem. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy. We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Anthony. Didn't they all die? I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me. Ever. What's it to you anyway? Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies! All of it lies! I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. I think in the Japanese version, she's actually Japanese and she went to the United States and she wasn't an American citizen who went to Paris, I think. Passport. The victim apparently arrived home from Paris on July 30th, the day before the murder. Indeed, she appears to have returned the day before the murder. Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude! We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I... Well, I'll follow the advice from my... Guilty, right off the bat. No... no trial or anything. Hi, Panda. question is irrelevant to this case. Oof. Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? A cheating she-dog? I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, and when I meet her and blah blah blah, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Oops. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accused's motive is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is so not looking good. Doing alright, Panda? Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Well, did you or did you not? Well, maybe I did and maybe I didn't. Uh-oh, he went. What do I do? Have him answer honestly. I guess this is probably best. I know, I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah, I was there, I went. Order! Well, Mr. Butts. Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man. So, like, I didn't see her. Am I supposed to do that voice now? Objection! Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts was lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body, just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Order! Order in the court! Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sawit. Sawit? Ah, yeah, because he saw it. Yeah, Mr. Frank saw it. To the stand. I saw it. Mr. Sawit, you sell newspaper subscriptions, is this correct? Oh, yes, newspapers, yes. Mr. Sawit, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. Witness's account. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment, then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. How does he know that it wasn't working if he didn't go inside the apartment? That's a contradiction right there, sir! I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sawit used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. Blackout record. Electricity to Miss Stone's building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. Blackout record added to the court record. Now, Mr. Wright. Yes, yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? But I'm a lawyer. I don't know anything about cross-examination. Alright, right. This is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you exposed the lies in the testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What, he was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find contradictions between the court record and the witness testimony. Then once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it into witness's face like this. Okay, open the court record with the R button, then point out contradictions in the testimony. Objection! Yeah, you can press to get additional information. Isn't a man leaving an apartment common sight? I find it odd you would take notice of him. I don't know, he just seemed strange to me, that's all. Like he was mad and yet frightened at the same time, just like a criminal fleeing the scene of a crime. The defense requests that the witness refrain from conjecture. Good going, Phoenix. Of course, what the witness means is that the man he saw looks suspicious. So, what happened next? I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Tell me more about this. Half open, you say? Yes, the door was open halfway, yes. I watched for a moment, but no one came to close the door. That's odd in a big city like this, I thought. I see, and what happened next? Yeah, there's nothing to take note of here. Thinking it's strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. How did you know she was dead? Are you sure she was dead? Well, no, I guess I wasn't, but she wasn't moving at all and there was blood everywhere. I guess that would look fatal to anyone, yeah. Very well, what happened next? I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. This is something I want to be sure of. So you didn't touch anything in the apartment? Yes, I mean no, nothing. Okay, what happened next? I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in our apartment wasn't working. Yes, I did, Panda, yeah. Well, I missed the first few minutes of it because I got a phone call just as I was about to watch it, but I did watch, like, most of it, yeah. Pretty excited about it, to say the least. Shoot. Phone in the apartment wasn't working, but you said you didn't go into the apartment, or did you? Oh, that, I can explain that. There was a cordless phone on the shelf in the entranceway. I reached inside and tried using that to call, and that phone wasn't working, correct? What happened next? I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. Why use a public phone? Well, you see, I don't have a cell phone, and being in the middle of the afternoon, there was no answer at the nearby apartments. Right. What time did you call again? I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. But the time of death was between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. Well, I still ended up watching it anyway, yeah. But I didn't get any... I didn't get the first part of the direct, and I didn't go back to watch it afterwards. So, if they explained anything about the story in the first few minutes, I didn't see it, which is just as well, I guess. But I did see, like, them mentioning Dynamax and that sort of thing, and presenting a few, like, new Pokemons. And, well, the one thing that I remember seeing that I took note of was that when you're out in the open, like not in the cities, you can like pan the camera around, like freely move the camera for the first time in the series, and I thought that was cool. I'm sure gonna like this. Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at some time after 4 p.m. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. I will definitely want someone to trade Pokemon with. Definitely, yeah. There was nobody or no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Oh, this is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Saw it. Why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Gee, that's a really good question. Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spots. I don't know which version I will get, because since I will be getting a review code for the game, Well, I most certainly will anyway. I expect to get one. I won't get to choose which version I will get, so... but hopefully I get it in ahead of time, like a week or two ahead of release. Hopefully. Lies always beget more lies. See through one and their whole story falls apart. Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? The time of discovery. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. That's impossible. There was no power. I see. You heard a voice saying the time on the taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Right. You know what to do. I've got this one. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Objection! Objection! Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sawit? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Wait, I remember now. Mr. Sawit, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Sawit. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Hearing the time. Actually, I didn't hear the time, I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. Wait, what? What? You saw a clock? I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. Hearing the time. Actually, I didn't hear the time, I saw it. That strikes me as a very suspicious mistake. Yes, I can see how it would be a little doubtful. I'm really sorry. Just remembered that table clock. A table clock? There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? What table clock? Was there a clock at the scene? This is the first I've heard of it. Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. The murder weapon? Yes, the table clock that was used as a weapon. It doesn't say anything about the murder weapon being a clock, and how would he know? That's what I just said. Did you doze off in the middle of that my testimony or something? Something's fishy here. That must have been what I saw. Objection! Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock, it was the statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock? Well, you with your objections and your evidence. Well, I'm an attorney, so what do you expect? Just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Sawit. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne. As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. I see, so the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problem with this testimony now? Well, yeah, how would he know that it was a clock if he didn't, like, touch it or something and he didn't exactly go inside the apartment, he said so. Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he knew the victim went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it. Prove I went in there. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sides, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon just spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day I never. Look, the clock, I heard, no, I mean I saw. Shut up, I hate you. It was him, I tell you, I saw him. He killed her, and he should burn, give him death. Maybe he was one of the sugar daddies. Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims. Mr. Wright, Your Honor, you claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I'd better think it through carefully. Your Honor, the sound Mr. Sowett heard was definitely this clock, a fact which is clear if you simply try sounding the clock. Let's sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. Beep. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker after all. So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. Yeah, the clock was 3 hours off because she just came back from a trip overseas. And incidentally, by the way, if she is from the United States and she was on a trip to Paris, there is, even if you're on the East Coast, there is a 6-hour time difference between East Coast time and Paris time. So she couldn't have been in Paris if it's 3 hours. But she could have been to Los Angeles from Japan, I think. Because I think there is a 3-hour time difference there. Because in the original version, she's from Japan and she went to the United States. That's why. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sowett heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sowett, try to talk your way out of this one. You forgot one thing. Uh-oh. What's he talking about now? While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. He's right. How am I going to prove that? The victim apparently arrived home from Paris on July 30th, the day before the murder. Yeah. Damn it, I was so close. Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness, unfortunately. This ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sowett. Hey, wait a second. I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. You treat me like a criminal. A criminal! You lawyers are all slime. I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. You're going to jail. I'm not going to try to get you out of this one. There's nothing I can do about it now. Really? Not so fast, Mr. Sowett. Chief. Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think. But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right. Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? Yes, I can think of one. Wait, maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let them have it. It's the first case and you only have five pieces in your court record, so it can't be that hard if you just look through them. Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim with it beyond a doubt. Ah, tough words. Let's see you pull this one off. Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. Oh. 9 hours? Oh, yeah, between Los Angeles then, or West Coast time and Paris. Then that would add up, yeah. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. Ah, yeah, okay. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Saw It, or should I say, Mr. Did It. Yeah. He passed out. Order! Order, I say! Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness? He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete the defense so quickly, and find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Buds, not guilty. Yeah, because, when you're declared not guilty, you've got confetti coming down from the ceiling and everything. And with that, this court is adjourned. It turns out that Frank Saw It was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check out and see when people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Saw It let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Saw It grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find and killed the victim. August 3rd, 2:32 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. I still can't believe we won. Right. Good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I have never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Oh, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good. Wait. No, I mean bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Wind is gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was, nah, never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts, innocent. Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this, ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner, movie, my treat. Oh, no, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento, even if it's still got the victim's blood on it, but... Yo, Nick, can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you want to just cry? Sup? Larry. Are you so sure? Excuse me? Oh, no, please. No, don't start that Jar Jar Binks impression, please. I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me, it's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right, Wright? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Oh, yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? The statue itself, she's still held on to it, despite the fact that they weren't together anymore, so... Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chum to her. Huh? What about that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry, and she took it with her when she traveled. Whatever, she probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. Hope that made him feel a little better. Right. I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right. Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner? On me. We'll drink a toast to innocent butts. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him? Yeah, part at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks? She's hitting on you, Phoenix. And so my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends. But I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay us, unless you count the clock he gave Mia." I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. The end. Well, of that case anyway. I'll put a second case right away. A brand new episode has been added. Yeah, the second one is quite a bit longer, I think. I think I should have time to finish the second one still, though. Episode 2, Turnabout Sisters. Hello, this is Maya. Hey Maya, it's me. Mia, what's up? You haven't called in a while. Sorry, I've been so busy. How have you been? Well, lonely, and it's all your fault. Nah, I'm just teasing. I've been great. I'm finally getting used to having my own place. That's good to hear. Actually, I'm calling because I have a favor to ask. I know. You want me to hold evidence for you. Sharp as always. There is a lot of buzz around the upcoming trial. I just don't feel safe keeping the evidence here. I gotcha. So, what is it this time? It's a clock. A clock? Yeah, it's made to look like that statue, the Thinker, and it tells you the time. I thought you might like it. You always like toys. Hey, I'm not a little girl anymore, sis. Now. You know I'm only teasing. I should probably tell you the clock isn't talking right now. Huh? It's not working? That's lame. I had to take the clockwork out. Sorry. I put some papers inside it instead. Papers? Is that the evidence then? Well, there's a possibility that it might turn out that way, yes. Can you come by the office tonight, say 9, to pick it up? I'll be in a pre-trial meeting until then. Okay, sis, but I expect dinner, something good. Like burgers. I could really go for a good burger. Okay. We'll hit the usual joint. Alright, it's a deal. Okay, sis, see you soon. Yep, I'll be waiting, Maya. Conversation recorded September 5, 9:27 a.m. September 5th, 8:57 p.m. Fay and Company Law Offices. Now, Miss Fay, I'll take what's mine, the papers. I'm sorry, but I can't give you what I don't have. Miss Fay, you are a poor liar. Why, I see it right over there. That must be the thinker that swallowed those papers. How could you know? Oh ho, you are not cogniferous of my background. Gathering information is my business, you see. I should have been more careful. Oh ho. My dear Miss Fay, I am so very sorry, but I am afraid I must ask you for one more thing. Your eternal silence. Farewell, Miss Fay. No! Red, white, blue. September 5th, 9:08 p.m. Fay and Company Law Offices. Uh-oh, I'm late. Huh? That's strange. Guess the chief left without me. She said her sister was coming over, so we should all go out for dinner. What's that smell? Blood. Mia! Maybe she's in her office. I smell blood, and that can't be good. I have to check and see if Mia, Chief, is okay. What is it? No matter what I want to inspect? That smell, blood. Well, I wonder if you can really smell blood that in that way. Sis, someone's there. Chief, Chief, Chief. Who are you? No, I don't think you would be saying who are you so calmly. The strange girl dropped out cold. I left her lying on the office sofa. I went back to the chief where she lay under the window. Her body was still warm. I could feel it when I held her shoulder. Then, all too quickly, it began to fade, until finally she was cold. Chief. It becomes yellow when you hover over the piece of evidence. I'm used to the DS version where you can simply tap on the touch screen with the stylus, so that's a bit easier there. Some shards of glass are scattered on the floor. They seem to be the remains of a glass nightstand. And it says there's a little thing telling you that you've already examined this. That's nice. Chief's chair. A simple, functional design. Feels pretty good to sit in too. Chief, it's hard seeing her like this, but if there are any clues here, she was struck on the head with a blunt object. She probably died instantly. The thinker lying next to her must have been the murder weapon. The murder weapon looks like a statue, but it's actually a clock made by Larry Butts. There are some glass shards near the chief's body. Must be pieces of the glass nightstand lying broken in the back of the room. Glass shards, the broken remains of a glass nightstand, broken beyond all recognition. Nothing else that seems like a clue here. Piece of paper, it must have fallen from Mia's hand. What could it be? It's encrusted with dried blood. How ironic that this became the murder weapon again. A word is written in blood on this scrap of paper. Maya? Did Mia write this? This piece of paper is a receipt from a department store dated yesterday. A department store receipt with letters written in blood on the back. I think that's enough snooping around for now. I'd better call the police and find out what that girl was doing here. All the chief's important documents are packed in here. This is where she filed her case record and recent rulings. Surprisingly, the chief was never good with machines. About all she used this PC for was email. She picked up this ancient model at some garage sale for practically nothing. Perfectly normal office desk. The chief had a very particular policy about her office decor. Spend big on stuff the clients use, but keep your own stuff simple. Fay and Company ledger book. Everything is written in the chief's ultra neat handwriting. It's a small office, but it makes a good bit of money. Well, okay, let's use the phone then. Right, I'd better call the police. That's funny. A few of the screws on the receiver are missing. It looks like someone was halfway through taking it apart. Police? Please, come quick. What was that? Someone screaming from outside the window. She's staring right at me. She's holding a phone in her hand. The phone receiver is missing a few screws. I better not use it. Oh, okay. There's a large building right across from the office, the Gatewater Hotel. A nice, luxurious place. Gatewater, not Watergate. That girl just now, where'd she go? I put her right there on that sofa. Uh-oh, I hope she didn't run on me. Yipes! Don't scare me like that. Excuse me, but who are you? It's okay, I work here. Maya Fay. Maya Fay? Maya? So Mia was writing the girl's name. Maybe I should show her the receipt. I never thought there would be a use for evidence like this outside the courtroom. The reception desk. I usually sit there. Yeah, right. You couldn't cram more legal books in here even if you wanted to. Few can gaze upon the shelves without feeling insignificant. A small writing desk cluttered with office supplies. A large painting. I guess you'd call this modern art. I, on the other hand, call it a mistake. Good one, good one. The sofa is for clients. It's leather, a real luxury model. Right, okay, Before Mia died, she wrote a message with her own blood. She wrote it on the back of this receipt. That's my name. Why? Why would she write my name? Please just calm down. Why would sis write my name? Uh-oh, now I've done it. Police. Sounds like they're coming this way. Freeze! Police! Alright, I'm Detective Dick Gumshoe, see? Gumshoe, what an odd name. We received a report from the building across the way, see? Got a person saying they saw a murder. It must have been that woman I saw. Anyway, I don't want either of you moving 1 inch, okay? Great, just great. Maya, wait, she wouldn't have... Nah. Whoa! Excuse me! This word Maya here mean anything to you? That's my name. What? The victim drew this here note in her own blood, see? With her dying breath, she wrote down the killer's name. Killer? I'm not... Case closed, you're coming down to the precinct, ma'am. What? Oops. Mia's younger sister, Maya, was arrested on the spot. I was taken in for questioning and didn't get out until the next morning. My eyes were heavy, but I couldn't sleep. I sat around, waiting for visiting hours to begin at the detention center. I had to talk to Maya as soon as possible. September 6th, 9:07 a.m., detention center, visitor's room. Wow, they have poor Maya locked up like a criminal. Oh, it's you, the lawyer. Good morning. Good morning. She looked so tired. Um, are you going to be my attorney? Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I couldn't say that. I'd say that it's up to her. I'd better give it to her straight. It's up to you. Up to me? Yes, I don't think this is something I should decide. After all, you're the one in trouble here. They're never going to believe me, are they? Even you, when you found me in the office, you looked at me like I had done it. Did I look at her like that? No, I never thought. It's okay, I understand. And I've also heard about you. Heard? Heard what about me? I was talking to my sister on the phone the other day. Today was my junior partner's first time in court. Wow, really? How did that go? It was quite the scene. Honestly, I was on edge the whole time. It's been a while. So he crashed and burned? He's a genius. One of those strike fear into the hearts of evil types. The only thing he's lacking is experience. Sounds like it was fun. Well, I know who to go to if I ever get into trouble now. I don't know, Maya. I think you might want to wait. Give him 3 more years. That is, unless you want to be found guilty. How prophetic. That's what she said. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to insult you. No, it's okay. It's true, I guess. But at the same time, I can't just sit by and watch. When I think of the person who did this to Mia. I know. Hello, Mr. Guard. This guard monitors the visitor's room. He hasn't moved an inch. A real pro, this guy. Smile for the camera. There's something I've been wanting to ask you. Yes? What's with that outfit? Oh, this? This is what all acolytes... Acolytes? I think it's acolytes, but I'm not sure. This is what all acolytes wear. It's my uniform, you could say. Acolytes, like people in religious training? What is it? What is it you do? Oh, it's nothing strange, really. I'm a spirit medium in training. A spirit medium? I'm pretty sure that qualifies as strange. Excuse me a second. Oh, okay. Sorry, it's my allergies again. Can you tell me about the day of the murder? Yes, let's see. That morning I got a call from my sister. She wanted me to hold on to a piece of evidence for an upcoming trial. Yeah, hi Quillix. Yeah, I've got allergies at the moment, so it makes my nose all stuffy. Unfortunately. Makes me speak through my nose when I read out loud, unfortunately. That and it's stifling hot in here. It's been so for the past few days. Yes, that clock shaped like the Thinker, the one Larry made. How could that have been evidence in a case? Right, she said something about that. I remember. Do you want to hear it in her own voice? Her own voice? Yes, I'm pretty sure our conversation is on my cell phone. You recorded it. Yeah, I forgot how to delete those things. So you say you have conversation with your sister on your cell phone? Let's hear it. Right. Oh, I just remembered. That detective took my cell phone. Sorry. Oh, right. Of course. Next time I see Detective Gumshoe, I'll ask him for it. I'll write you a note so you don't forget, okay? Maya's memo. A conversation I had with my sister is recorded on my cell phone. What's that with spirit mediums? So you're an acolyte, or medium in training. That's right. The Fae family, especially the women, have always been very sensitive to the spirit world. Wait a second, you said the Fae family? So Mia was into this stuff too? Of course, she left the mountain to follow her career, she said. Her powers were first class too. I had no idea. Wait, what? So you're a real honest-to-goodness spirit medium with ESP and all that? Yes, in training. Well, can't you contact me as spirit then? You can just ask her who killed her. I'm sorry. I'm still in training. I couldn't do something on that level. I thought that would be too easy. Something the matter? I was wondering, could I ask you a favor? This is the address of a famous lawyer. My sister gave me this a long time ago. She said if I was ever in trouble, I should call him. And, well, I'm in trouble. Do you think you could go ask him to represent me? Oh yeah, if it's just that, yeah, sure, why not? I'll go ask. Thank you so much. I have no one else to turn to. Say, what about your parents? I see. Don't worry. Leave it to me. Thank you. The trial's tomorrow at 10. What? Tomorrow? Tomorrow. What if this guy refuses? They told me that if I don't find one, the state will pick an attorney to defend me. When will that happen? They are giving me until 4 this afternoon, and visiting hours are almost up. I'd better hurry. Right, I'll be back. No one would believe I was a defense attorney if I didn't carry this. Hey, check this out. Sorry, I've never seen that before. Oh, okay. Remember that receipt? You mean the one with my name on it? Any idea why she... Absolutely none. Do you trust me? I trust you. Why? Don't you think I did it too? No, I don't. It's just a hunch, but... That detective thinks I did it. Well, he would think that anyone is guilty. He doesn't need much proof for that. I wanted to ask you about your cell phone. That detective took it when they brought me in. So Gumshoe took it. I'll have to try to get it back next time I see him. This was lying next to the chief's body. I saw that too. They said they thought these were pieces of a broken light stand. Yeah, that seems about right. Though I'd never heard of a glass light stand before this. Yeah, that's something that you have to take into account later, I think. Like I said at the beginning, I've already played the first in the series, but it's episodes 2 and the second and third game that I've never played at all. So I can still remember some bits and pieces of the story, but like something like the witness that called the police couldn't have seen inside the office from across the street because there wasn't any light in the room because the glass lights the light was broken. Right. Okay. It was too dark for her to be able to see anything from across the street. I think this is it then. Let's move to Grossberg Law Offices. Grossberg. September 6th, Grossberg Law Offices. According to the receptionist, the big boss is out. She couldn't say when he'd be back. It must be hard to keep track of everything when you're a famous lawyer. Not to mention run an office like this. I guess I'll just have to come back later. Well, what then? Oh, let's examine the place, I guess. That painting has been bugging me ever since I stepped in here. The oil paint is so thick it's practically giving me a stuffed nose. I'm sure the price is nothing to sneeze at either, for that matter. Ha ha ha. An expensive potted plant. No idea what kind of plant it is, but it's probably the most expensive one available. A table for clients. An elegant ebony case, and if I'm not mistaken, that lighter is made of solid gold. Even I can tell someone here has got money to burn. Right, no clues here. Expensive looking mahogany bookshelves filled with expensive looking books. Funny, they don't look like they've ever been read. A solid mahogany desk. The wood's been polished to a deep luster. I guess this is everything. It's funny how you can't really see it well because it's hidden by the overlay, but there's a HUD down there in the bottom right corner, and it's basically blocking the cursor. That's a bit weird. Okay, let's move. Well, if he isn't in, Oh, but I can go to the Fay and Company law offices, I guess. But this is still the scene of the crime, though. It's my office, but it's also still the scene of the crime. The office is filled with police officers. They're all busily searching for clues. Hey, you there! This is a crime scene, pal. No trespassing. Sorry, don't I know you from somewhere? Wait, you're that Butts guy, aren't you? No, Phoenix Wright. How could anyone mistake me for Larry? Ah, guess I got the wrong name, Mr. Wright. Sorry about that. That Butts guy, he was a killer. And you're no killer, right? He was proven innocent. Right, and you were... Detective Sweet Shoes. Sweet Shoes, wasn't it? That's me. Don't step on my blue suede shoes. Ha 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 ha. Wait, that's a song, pal. My name's Dick Gumshoe. Wait, that's Detective Gumshoe to you, pal. Anyway, get the name right. And don't go calling me Dick. Hey, Dick, get over here. Yes, sir. Be right there. You're her lawyer, right, pal? If you got business here, you'd better do it quick. He thinks I'm Maya's lawyer. Dun, 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 dun. Let's talk about... Oh, yeah. About the cell phone. I was wondering, did you see Maya Faye's cell phone? Oh, that? I have that. Do you think you could give it back? Sure, I mean, wait a second, pal. Tricky lawyer. Uh-oh, he's on to me. Tell him straight. Tell him not so straight. Yeah, not so straight is preferable with this guy. Okay, I can't be straight with this guy, but what should I tell him? Something the matter? Oh, no, that carrying strap on the cell phone. This? It says the Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo Old Tokyo. The Steel Samurai, that action hero on TV? Yeah, you see that strap is a collector's item. She was worried it might get lost if it went down to the precinct. That's not what she said. Yes. Okay, pal. I wrote down all the numbers she called anyway. Here you go. Seems I didn't notice the recorded conversation. Maya's cell phone received from Detective Gumshoe. Check the court record to hear the recorded conversation. Okay. Oh yeah. Well. Well, it's the conversation you hear at the beginning of the chapter of the story. So. Okay. About Miss Faye. Did you do an autopsy? You want to know the results, eh? Now, don't you look at me like that, pal. It's no use. She might have been your boss, but that doesn't mean you get any special treatment. Alright. You can see the report, but that's all. Autopsy report added to the court record. Time of death, well, September 5th at 9 p.m. Cause, single blunt force trauma. Death was instantaneous. About Maya. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the trial. Sorry, pal, but this is the one trial you aren't going to win. Why do you say that? The city's put Prosecutor Edgeworth on the prosecution. Edgeworth? I'm sure you know what that means, you being a lawyer and all. I guess I've asked all the questions I need to. You all done, pal? Yes, thank you. I'll be heading out now. Oh, wait. One more thing I wanted to mention to you. I don't suppose you're planning on talking to that witness. Anyway, you'd better not. No influencing the witness with your lawyerly ways, pal. Come to think of it, I had completely forgotten about her. The witness. Yeah, Miss April May. I'm sorry about this, but I can't tell you anything about her. Well, you just told me her name, Miss May, huh? So you've sent her home already then. Aha, you're trying your lawyerly tricks on me now. She's not to go outside her room until the trial. So she's still in the hotel across the way. I guess I should know better than to try to get a detective to leak information. You got that right, pal. Time to pay a visit to Miss May. About Edgeworth, yeah. Prosecutor Edgeworth. That's right, pal. Mr. Miles Edgeworth himself. Wait, you do know him, don't you? Of course I do. I know him. He's a feared prosecutor. He doesn't feel pain. He doesn't feel remorse. He won't stop until he gets his guilty verdict. Oh, don't talk about him that way. You make him barely sound human. Still, I'm afraid this pretty much decides the case. So, Edgeworth is on this one. He hasn't lost a case since he became prosecutor at the incredibly young age of 20. Of course, there are rumors of back alley deals and forged evidence. All I know for sure is that Edgeworth hates crime with an almost abnormal passion. I never imagined I'd be facing him so soon. Well, this being my office and all, I should look around, perhaps. An old movie poster. Apparently, this was the first movie that made Mia cry when she saw it. I'll have to check it out one of these days. Mia's desk, perfectly clean as always. The only thing it's missing is Mia. So sad. Mia's favorite potted plant. I remember it had this bizarre name no one could ever remember. Cordyline stricta, pal. Who was that? The sky is blue, and so am I. There's that hotel right across the way. There's a horrendous amount of legal books here. Scarier still is that Mia probably read all of these. Well, I've looked at everything. Oh, wait, can you... Oh, yeah. By the way, I can check out the character profiles. April May, age 23. An eyewitness to the events testifies that she saw Maya commit the murder. Miles Edgeworth, age 24. A gifted prosecutor and a ruthless man who'd do anything to get a guilty verdict. Dick Gumshoe, age 30. Detective at the local precinct, in charge of the initial investigation. Maya Fey, age 17, the defendant, Mia's little sister and a spirit medium in training, and Mia Fey, age 27, the victim, chief attorney at Fey and Company Law Offices, and an excellent defense lawyer. Oh, yeah, that's how you save. Yeah, I should save. Let's move then. Yeah, let's check again on that. Ah, he's still not there, I guess. Still nobody. September 6th, Gatewater Hotel, room 303. Well, hello there, handsome. Hi. Smooth, right? Real smooth. You're the lawyer, aren't you? The detective told me. He said don't say nothing to that lawyer, pal. Teehee. Memo to self. Thank Detective Gumshoe for making my job harder. Gee, this is all like something out of a movie. It's all so exciting, I can hardly contain myself. Oh, let me go freshen up so I can look the part of the beautiful eyewitness. I pity the lawyer that has to cross-examine this one. It's you, pal. It's you. There's a screwdriver stuck in this drawer. I wonder what's inside. Let's take a look. Hey! Hey! What are you doing? No touching! Oh, bad boy. You really shouldn't pry around in other people's rooms now. You wouldn't want to make me upset, would you? Upset? I thought she was going to explode for a second there. I wonder what could be inside the drawer. A bottle and 2 glasses are on the table. Somebody must be staying with her. The late summer sunlight streams through the window. There's the Fay and Company Law Offices building, of course. You can see the inside of the room pretty clearly from here. I think it would be a little difficult to recognize a face from this distance, though. Especially with no light inside the office at night. A simple bed. It's been recently made. Nothing eye-catching here. Ah, a still scene painting. Wait, should that be still life? Whatever, one of those is hanging on the wall. Flowers are fake, as expected. I know sunflowers and tulips, but that's about the extent of my floral knowledge. I see there are 2 glasses on the table. Is someone staying here with you? Oh, what amazing powers of observation. You must be one of those famous detectives, like on television. Oh, no, not me. I'm, just a lawyer. Say, Mr. Big Detective, why don't you go look for clues in the garbage? Miss May doesn't like nosy little lawyers. Oh boy. Could you... Just who exactly are you? Oh, Mr. Lawyer, are you hitting on me? No, hey, I'm just doing my job here. You know you're cute when you blush. Believe me, this is the first time in my life I've blushed this much. Right. Can you just tell me what it is you do? Well, no. And you had your little hopes up, didn't you? Oh boy. Do you think you could tell me something? I need you to describe what you observed at the time of the incident. Oh, observe. Incident. You sound just like a lawyer in the movies. I like a man with a big vocabulary. Better not encourage her. You know that thing that happened the other day? The bad thing? What did you see when it happened? I don't suppose you could tell me about it, pretty please? Let me see, well... Dream on. If you want to know, you'll just have to come to court tomorrow, Mr. Lawyer. Oh boy. Excuse me, but I'm a witness. Police witness, you understand? How could I possibly give you any information in good conscience, Me, the witness, it's just like in the movies. Yeah, she's not gonna react to anything. Yeah. Hey, check this out. Pretty cool, huh? Oh, okay. Well. Gotta move, I guess. Seems like Mr. Grossberg is out. Well, maybe I should just wait here for him to come back. If that wasn't the most over-the-top clearing of the throat I've ever heard. Aha, so you're the one they say has been looking for me. Yes, that's me. It looks even grander than I imagined. That badge on your collar. Ah, so you're a lawyer, are you now? Yes, well, yes. And what do you want? I'm not particularly busy these days. Please proceed. Not busy? Then how come no one could get in touch with you? Something the matter? You came to see the one and only Marvin Grossberg, did you not? Well, here I am, boy. What do you want? Out with it. Well, sir, actually, it's about Maya. Maya Fey. Ah, yes, Maya Fey. Go on. Why the strange reaction? Cha-cha, I'm really quite busy here, son. I can't go taking cases on a day's notice. No, it's quite impossible. You just said you had nothing better to do. Wait a second. How did you know the trial was tomorrow? Anyway, I'm afraid it's entirely impossible for me to represent her. Sorry, end of discussion. What's going on? He refused me before I even got a chance to ask him. What do I tell Maya? Your refusal. How can you just refuse like that? Please tell me, why won't you take the case? Well, you see, it's just, I'm busy, you see. But the client is Mia Fey's sister. Mia trusted you. She knew her sister would be in good hands. Yes, of course, I know that. However, I'm sorry, but I must refuse. Sorry, goodbye. Creep. Fine, I don't have time to argue with you anyway. I'll go look elsewhere. Think not. Huh? Did you say something? I think not, I said. What do you mean? I'm terribly, terribly sorry, but I'm afraid that no lawyer worth their salt will take on this particular case. Terribly sorry, boy. Why? I cannot say. I beg your pardon, but could you leave now? I've nothing more to discuss with you. What's going on here? How did you know Mia Fey? She worked here a long time ago. Quite the apprentice, that one. Learned my techniques in the blink of an eye. She left one day, quite suddenly. She had a mission, you see? A mission? You could see it in her eyes. She followed it with a burning passion. Never looked back, that one. That's quite a painting. Aha, you noticed. It's my pride and joy. Impressive, isn't it? Well, isn't it? The color of the sky, the hue of the sea, the weave of the straw hat. It's worth at least 3 million. I have no intention of parting with it, of course. No, I won't sell it, not even to you. I wasn't interested. It's not for sale. I'm not buying. Jeez. Won't you at least have a look at the autopsy report? Very sorry, but I've got nothing to say regarding this matter. Yeah, he's probably gonna say the same thing to every piece of evidence. Yeah. No other choice but to move then. September 6th, 3:42 p.m. Detention Center, Visitor's Room. Hiya. Oh, you're back. Did you find the lawyer? Well, what do I tell her? Well, see, just be honest. I really don't think you should use that guy. He didn't seem healthy. It was all skin and bones. What really happened? You don't mean he refused to help? I see. I've been abandoned then. Please don't be like that, Maya. You're breaking my heart. Could you tell me about the day of the murder? Sorry, I know it must be hard. No, it's okay. All I've been doing the last few hours is talking about it. I've kind of gotten used to it. Let's see, that morning I got a call from my sister. She wanted me to hold on to a piece of evidence for an upcoming trial. That's the thinker clock that Larry made. It practically qualifies as serial murderer by now. So then, when did you arrive at the office? It was right around 9. The lights were off and I could smell blood. What with these people with the ability to smell blood like that? Thanks, Maya. That's all I need to hear for now. Are they dogs or something? They have an incredible sense of smell, I guess. What about your family? I only had my sister. My father died when I was very young, and I don't know where my mother is. Don't know? So she could still be alive? The women in my family have been mediums for generations. They say a lot of spiritual power runs in our blood. About 15 years ago, our family was involved in an incident. There was a man and he ruined our mother's life. Ruined? After that, she disappeared. Several years after that, my sister announced she would become a lawyer and she left the mountain. So you live by yourself? Yes, I've gotten used to it. Oh, also, I had to become independent or I would lose my powers. I feel bad for her all by herself up on that mountain. Your mother's enemy. So who was this man who, ruined your mother? About 15 years ago, there was an unusual murder case. It made quite a stir. Everyone was talking about it, apparently. The police were running out of leads, and they were getting desperate. Wait, they didn't use a spirit medium, did they? The police convinced my mother to try to contact the victim. Wow, so what happened? The case was solved, we thought. You thought? The man my mother helped the police capture was innocent. The police's consultation with the medium had all been carried out in secret, of course, but a man found out about it and leaked it to the press. He told all the papers that my mother was a fraud, and the media jumped on it big time. She, my mother, became the laughingstock of the nation. I see. White. Excuse me? White? That was his name. My sister told me. White, Just a little longer now before the state-appointed lawyer comes, I guess. Sorry, all that reading out loud. It's making my mouth dry. 4 p.m. Time's up. What should I do? Do I just leave her and go home? I want to try to say no. Just to see what's gonna happen. There's nothing left here for me to do. She'll be better off with a state-appointed lawyer. I think I'd better get home now. Goodbye. Is it game over if you leave her? It was a few days later when I found out how the story ended. The result of the trial was in the newspaper. Guilty. I'll probably never meet her again. Did I make the right choice? Will I ever know? Mia, if you can hear me, please tell me. Game over? No, I can't let that happen. I'm not leaving her. I'm not leaving here until she takes me as her lawyer. I've made up my mind. I'm going to defend you whether you want me to or not. Why? Why? Well, I don't know why. To be honest, I don't know. You don't know? Is this girl sitting in front of me the killer? All the evidence seems to say yes. But there's something about this whole thing that smells fishy. That witness's strange behavior, was that all an act? And the way that lawyer refused to help out Maya. But more than all that, she has no one left to help her. Nothing is more sad and more lonely than that. I know, I've been there a long, long time ago. Why did I become a lawyer in the first place? Because someone has to look out for the people who have no one on their side. There's only one thing I know for certain. I won't abandon you. You can count on me. It's so kind of you. Well, let's fight this one and get you out of here. Right, thank you. She smiled at last. She looks like an entirely different person. One last question. You are innocent, right? Yes! And I trust you. So you trust me too, okay? It's a deal. So, what next? There's something that's been bugging me. Just what was inside that strange woman's drawer? It was when I tried to look into the drawer that she got all defensive. There has to be something in there. There's not much else, then I guess, I can't present her anything. Oh yeah, no, that way I can. Yeah, she's still gonna react the exact same way to everything I show her at this point. So let's go back there, I guess. Good afternoon, sir. Excuse me, you are... I beg your pardon, sir. I am the bellboy of this establishment at your service, sir. Oh, right. I've just come up to deliver room service, sir. Do you know where Miss May might be? I believe our guest, Miss May, is currently using the, facilities. If you've no need of anything, I'll be taking my leave. Please stay as long as you like. Enjoy. Yeah. Wait, no, hey! Why does it seem like every time I come here, I end up embarrassing myself? Wait, now's my chance to snoop around a bit. I almost forgot. Ah! You came back quick! Might I ask you to inform Miss May that there is a message for her? Please tell her that Mr. White of Blue Corp phoned. Oh, right, sure. Mr. White of Blue Corp? Where have I heard that name? White. That was his name. My sister told me. White was the name of the guy who ruined Mia and Maya's mother. Could it be a coincidence? Let's quickly examine this. There's a screwdriver sticking out of that half-open drawer. Now's my chance to see what's inside. What do we have here? A wiretap? What would a woman like her be doing with a thing like this? Wiretap added to the court record. There is definitely something suspicious about this Miss May. Why would she have something like this in her hotel room? There's a story behind all this. I know it. Alright. I'll be using this bit of evidence in tomorrow's trial for sure. For Maya's sake. I'll get to this... Ah, shoot. I can't scroll back the text. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Oh, bellboy? Still there? Uh-oh. Time to scram. I look forward to tangoing with you tomorrow, Miss May. In court. To be continued. Yeah, to be continued in the same chapter, so... They can say that all they want. September 7th, 10 a.m. District Court, Courtroom number 1. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Maya Fey. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Miles Edgeworth. I'd better not show any signs of weakness today, or he'll be on me in an instant. Mr. Edgeworth, please give the court your opening statement. Thank you, Your Honor. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, was at the scene of the crime. The prosecution has evidence she committed this murder, and we have a witness who saw her do it. The prosecution sees no reason to doubt the facts on this case, Your Honor. I see. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Let's begin then. If we may call our first witness, Your Honor. The prosecution calls the chief officer at the scene, Detective Gumshoe. Witness, please state your name and profession to the court. Sir, my name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm the detective in charge of homicides down at the precinct, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please describe for us the details of this murder. Very well, sir. Let me use this floor map of the office to explain. The body was found by this window here. And the cause of death? Loss of blood due to being struck by a blunt object, sir. The murder weapon was a statue of the Thinker found next to the body, sir. It was heavy enough to be a deadly weapon, even in a girl's hands, sir. The court accepts the statue as evidence. They're still calling it a statue. Floor plans added to the court record. Floor plans, the murder scene, the Finn Company law offices. Now, detective. Yes, sir. You immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey, who was found at the scene, correct? Can you tell me why? Yes, sir. I had hard evidence she did it, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please testify to the court about this hard evidence. As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. Yeah, but I can't press him on anything until the cross-examination time. There were 2 people there already. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey. Why? We had a witness account describing her. The witness saw Miss Maya Fey at the very moment of the murder. The very moment, you say. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examine what? I couldn't see a single contradiction in that testimony. Whoosh! Hey, Maya just threw something at me. What's this? When my sister couldn't find any contradictions in a witness's testimony, she would bluff it and press the witness on every detail. The witness always slips up and says something wrong. It worked lots of times. Hey, I should have expected Maya would know some of her sister's tricks. Alright, let's give this a try. That's what I intended to do. No, Your Honor, I'd like to begin my cross-examination. As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed the scene. Wait. Go back on that. Who did you say you got a call from? Hey, pal, don't play dumb. You know who. The call was from a customer at the Gatewater Hotel, right? Across from the crime scene. Okay, I pressed. Not sure it did much, though. Right, please continue. There were 2 people there already. Detective Gumshoe, how long would you say it took between you receiving the call and your arrival at the scene of the crime? Right, I'd say it was about 3 minutes. That's pretty fast. Our motto this month is quick response. That's how I got there before the killer got away. Indeed. So tell us who the 2 people you found on the scene were? Yes, sir. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Are you absolutely sure it was us? Listen, pal, your dumb act will only get you so far. With her funky hippie clothing and your spiky hair, you 2 stand out like suspicious people at a crime scene. Well, it does have a point about her. She is pretty unmistakable. I should pick my points to press with a little more care. Yeah, but... I'm trying, okay? I'm trying. Trying to find something. I immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey. Pardon me. Why is that? What's your reason? Why? We had a witness account describing her. The witness saw Miss Maya Fey at the very moment of murder. Hold on just 1 second. Yeah, if I heard correctly, you said you arrested her because you had hard evidence she did it, correct? Huh? Did I say that? Me? I heard you say it. You did say it. You said it. Exactly what about the suspicious woman in pink's claim was hard evidence? What? Miss May isn't suspicious and she sure isn't pink, pal. Well, I guess she's pink. That's enough, Detective Gumshoe. Do you have any more solid proof other than her claims, Detective? I guess pressing can have its advantages. Yes. Yeah, sorry, I got the order of things mixed up in my testimony, Your Honor. Sir, there was something I should have told you about first, Your Honor. Very well, Detective, let's hear your testimony again. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. I found the memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Maya was written clearly in blood. Lab test results showed that the blood was the victim's. Also, there was a blood found on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. That's impossible because the autopsy report says she died instantly. How you like that? That's my hard evidence. Before we begin cross-examination, I have a question for you, Detective. Your Honor? Why didn't you testify about this vital piece of evidence the first time? I know, I'm real embarrassed. I forgot about it, Your Honor. Sir. Try to be more careful. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. This is where I have to press with the autopsy report. Objection! Detective Gumshoe, there is one thing I want you to clarify for me here. You say that the victim, Mia Fey, wrote this note, that she was accusing the defendant, Maya Fey. That's really what you're saying. What? This isn't one of those lawyer tricks now, is it? Of course she wrote it. Who else could have? You have it backwards, Detective. Backwards? The victim is the only person who absolutely could not have written it. This is a report from your department, Detective. Immediate death due to a blow from a blunt object. She died immediately. But... No butting your way out of this one, Detective. Order! Order! The defense has a point. Someone who died immediately wouldn't have had the time to write anything down. Mr. Wright, I beg your pardon, but when exactly did you obtain that autopsy report? When? Wasn't it the day after the murder? She was killed at 9 p.m. and it was much later, wasn't it, when I got into the office? So it would be the day after the murder anyway. Yeah, it was daytime, yeah. It was the day after the murder. The prosecution's point being that autopsy report is outdated, Your Honor. What? The second autopsy was performed yesterday at my request. Death was almost immediate due to a blow from a blunt object, but there is a possibility the victim lived for several minutes after the blow. I received these results this morning. No way! Trixie, Your Honor, it's quite easy to imagine that the victim did have time to write Maya. That is all. I see. Damn you, Edgeworth. I should have known you'd have something up your sleeve. Why, Mr. Wright, you look shocked. Something you want to say? You're a sham, Amber Edgeworth. Detective's a sham. I'm a sham. No, I'm not about to say that. Uh... Detective Gumshoe, you're a sham. How could you give me a faulty report? I thought... Detective Gumshoe... I'm disappointed in you, handing him the wrong report like that. I'm sorry, sir. You are at fault, Detective. This isn't going to look good on your evaluation next month. What? But... Your Honor, I submit this report to the court. Understood. The court accepts the evidence. May have lived for a few minutes after being hit. Okay. Well, Your Honor, the evidence strongly suggests the victim was identifying the killer. I suppose that's the obvious conclusion, yes. Darn, this isn't good. The prosecution would like to call its next witness. This poor innocent girl saw the murder with her own eyes. Let the witness, Miss April May, take the stand. Exactly what part of her is innocent? Witness, your name, please. April May, at your service. Wink. Wink. Order. An introduction should not require any reaction from the crowd. The witness will refrain from one-tone winking. Oh, yes, Your Honor. This is not good. She's already captured the heart of every man in this courtroom. Tell us, where were you on the night of September 5th when the murder occurred? Gee, I was like in my hotel room. I checked in right after lunch. And this hotel is directly across from the Fay & Company law offices. That's right, big boy. Please testify to the court about what you saw. It was like 9 at night. I looked out the window, you know. And then, I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. The one attacking her with the mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. Then the woman, like, dodged to one side and ran away. But that girl, she caught up to her and she hit her. Then the woman with the long hair, she kinda slumped. The end. That's all I saw. Every little bitsy witsy. Wink. Well, Your Honor, I see. It is a remarkably solid testimony. I don't see a need to trouble the witness any... Wait, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright? What about my cross-examination? I thought the witness's testimony just now was quite firm, didn't you? Mr. Wright, I understand you were Miss Mia Fay's understudy, were you not? You must know her techniques well. A cowardly way of finding tiny faults in perfectly good testimonies. Hey, how dare you? Well, Mr. Wright, will you cross-examine the witness? Yes, I'm doing it. Of course, yeah. I'm not just gonna say no and then just call it a day. I'll gladly proceed with the cross-examination, if only because I have a feeling Hedgeworth doesn't want me to. She has to have some weakness. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination. It was like 9 at night. I looked out the window, you know. Why did you do that? Huh? Why? Like, why what? Why did you look out the window? Were you expecting to see something? Oh, well, gee. What? That's it. She can't get out of this question that easily. I sort of, you know. I had a feeling. Well, I have a feeling she's trying to avoid the question. Maybe I should press a little harder on this one. Let's see how far I can run with this. Sure, you must have had a reason to look out your window at that time of night. Mr. Wright, I will not have you badgering my witness. Badgering? You insist on needling her with these trivial questions. I really don't think it should be allowed. Yeah, stop him! Poor girl, the poor girl! Order, Mr. Wright, you have been warned. Poor girl? What about poor me? You looked out the window. What did you see next? And then, I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. The woman with long hair, that was Mia Fay. Mm-hmm. Slender, sort of. Well, some people might say pretty if that's your thing. Your thing. And the person attacking her? The one attacking her with the mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. How do you know she was a defendant? Well, you know. She had a girlish physique. Women know these things. Look, I just know, okay? There was only one person at the scene of the crime with a short, girlish figure. The testimony is bulletproof, Your Honor. He's right. Yeah, but the key here is that she couldn't have seen it because there was no light inside the office. Hold on a minute. That testimony stinks. What? Miss May, I'm willing to bet that you saw nothing. Did you really see the defendant at all? Mr. Wright, what's the meaning of this? Yes, what is the meaning? Somebody tell me because I'm clueless about this, I mean. Okay, if you had really witnessed my client, Maya Fey, you would have noticed her clothes before noticing her physique. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I didn't think of that, but yeah, she stands out indeed. No one wears clothes like this on a daily basis, except her. And I'm no expert on fashion, but her hairdo looks far from normal to me. However, the witness's testimony mentions neither of those things. Testimony is bogus. But, still we don't know if she was dressed that way the night of the murder. She was, Your Honor. I saw her, and so did Detective Gumshoe. What do you say to that, Miss May? What are you trying to say, you mean lawyer? I saw what I saw. I just didn't think all the trifling little details were necessary, darling. Miss May, the court would like to remind you to please omit nothing in your testimony. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'll be a good girl, I promise. Your testimony again, if you would. Damn, I almost had her. I did see everything, I did. The victim, the woman, dodged the first attack and ran off to the right. Then the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. And she hit her with that weapon. I saw it, I did. That clock, the kind of statue-y clock, the thinker, I think. How would she know that it was a clock? Well, does the accuracy of my report not startle you? I see. I only wish she had been so detailed from the beginning. Please begin the cross-examination. I did see everything, I did. The victim, the woman, dodged the first attack and ran off to the right. Then the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. And she hit her with that weapon. I saw it, I did. That clock, the kind of statue-y clock, the thinker, I think. There is no mechanism in the clock anymore, and besides, how would you know it was a clock from looking at it from that distance? Miss May, what you said just now was quite revealing. Revealing? Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Naughty Mr. Lawyer. You just said that the statue of the thinker was a clock, but there's no way of knowing that by just looking at it. Especially from a distance like from across the street. Another person in much the same position as you recently called this a clock too, and he was found guilty of murder. Order! Order! Miss May, can you explain how you know this was a clock? Oh, the witness saw the murder with her own eyes. That's all that's important here. The defense is trying to confuse the issue with trivial concerns. Yes, of course. You will withdraw your question, Mr. Wright. Come on. Questions are all I have, Your Honor. And as you may recall, I've caught murderers with these questions before. Well, only once. Objection sustained. You may continue to question the suspect. That was close. If he stopped me there, the trial would be over. Huh? What? So what happens now? What happens now is you answer my question. How did you know it was a clock? What? That's... because I heard it? Yes, I heard it. Say the time. So you've been to the law offices of Faye and Company... Oh, sorry. Of Faye and Company? No, hey, I didn't say that. Why would I go there? I heard it from my hotel room. The law offices of Faye and Company, where the murder took place, is very close to the hotel. She could easily have heard a clock. With passing cars and the like. I found that hard to believe, but besides, there is no mechanism left in the clock, so... well, Mr. Wright, are you satisfied? No, Your Honor. I can't give up now. I'm not satisfied because she couldn't have heard it. It couldn't have rung. Yeah. Your Honor, members of the court, it is inconceivable that the clock in question rang. It's empty. That clock is missing its clockwork. How could you possibly... Just take a look, right now. Oh, see anything interesting, Your Honor? It is as the defense says. This clock is missing its clockwork. It's quite empty. The other guy is going to say, yeah, but you can't prove that it was missing its clockwork the night of the murder. Would you care to explain to the court the meaning of this? It is as you can see, the clock was empty. It couldn't have rung. Therefore, this witness is a big fat liar. Fat? Well, Miss May? Yeah, but you can prove that it was empty the night of the murder, can you? Quite a show you've put on for us, Mr. Wright. He knew the clock was empty. Somehow, he knew. I'm afraid you've forgotten one thing, however. Indeed, the clock is empty. As you say, it can't ring. However, we must ask, when was the clockwork removed? If it was after the witness heard the clock, then there is no contradiction. That's true. That is a possibility. The clock might have been emptied after she heard it. I have a recorded phone call to prove the contrary. And that is exactly what happened, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, can you prove when the clockwork was removed? Oh, impossible, of course. I have proof. What? Wasn't it you who told me proof is everything while I was listening? And now I'll show you the proof you like so much. The evidence that proves when the clockwork was removed is... the recorded phone call. Take a look at this. That's a very cute cell phone. Oh, you have a girly phone. Wait, this isn't my phone. Listen. This is the defendant's cell phone, and it contains a recording. A recording of a conversation she had with the victim the day of the murder. Order! Order! The defendant's cell phone? This wasn't brought to my attention. Perhaps Detective Gumshoe overlooked it? The good detective better remember he's up for evaluation soon. I gotta say I'm starting to feel bad for the big fella. Let's hear the conversation. Yeah, it's still a conversation from the beginning of the chapter. So you just want me to hold on to the thinker for you then, if you could. I should probably tell you the clock isn't talking right now. Huh? It's not working? That's lame. I had to take the clockwork out. Sorry. September 5th, 9:27 a.m. Your Honor, I think this makes it clear the clockwork was already gone by the time this was recorded. Which was well before the witness even arrived at her hotel. Well, Miss May, would you care to explain this to the court? Just how did you know that weapon was a clock? Well, what, isn't it obvious? I saw that clock before. What store was that again? I go to so many. Oops, I forgot. Wink. So the witness had seen it before. That would make sense. Nah, it's handmade. It's a one of a kind. Well, actually, no, two of a kind, because Larry has one for himself as well. But there exists only one other statue just like it, so... Oh yes, I have an objection. The witness claims she had seen it before, but this directly contradicts the piece of evidence already submitted to this court. Well then, let's see it. Please produce this evidence that will prove the witness had not seen the clock before. It It's simple. This clock was never in any store, ever. What? A friend of mine made that clock. Only 2 exist in the world, and the one that isn't here is in Polly's custody. Impossible. Everything is sold in stores. Miss May, I think it's high time you went shopping for a better excuse. Oh, excuse is not on sale today? Oh, Oh. What's it to you, porcupine head? That stupid clock doesn't matter, okay? She did it, and she should die for it. Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is a court of law, and the witness will remain calm. Oh, silly me. Did I, like, lose it? I guess I did. Scary. Miss May, let me ask. Tell me, how did you know the weapon was a clock? Oh dear. Does the defense have an opinion on this behavior? Okay, this is it. Yes, Your Honor. Allow me to explain how I see the truth of the matter. Miss April May, you knew the weapon was a clock because you had heard about it. Because she was wiring the conversation happening inside the office. The witness had never held the clock in her hands. However, she had heard that it was a clock. She heard? That is correct, Your Honor. There is no other way she could have known the thinker was a clock. And I can show you the proof. Well, this is interesting. Let's see it then. Show me evidence proving that the witness had heard the murder weapon was a clock. Have a look at this. That... I found this in Miss May's room. Mr. Wright, please explain to the court what this is. Miss April May, you were tapping the victim, Miss Mia Faye's phone, were you not? Oh. Your Honor, this is irrelevant. I'm not entirely sure that it is. Objection overruled. It troubles me that our witness was in possession of a wiretap. This is outrageous. Does the defense truly claim that the witness was tapping her phone? Absolutely. Even if that was the case, which is not, you still have to prove one thing. Did the victim ever say that the weapon was a clock on the phone? Can you prove that? I think not. Oh yeah? I think I can. It's simple. What? Nani? Here's my proof. The proof that the victim said on the phone that the weapon was a clock is... I present the defendant's cell phone. Yes, we've seen that. Listen once more to the conversation between the defendant and the victim. Mia, what's up? You haven't called in a while. Well, actually, there's something I want you to hold on to for me. Again, what's it this time? It's a clock. It's made to look like that statue, the thinker, and it tells you the time. Miss April May, you used the wiretap to listen to this conversation. That's how you knew the thinker was a clock. Am I wrong?
Objection!
Your Honor, this is ridiculous. Your Honor, look at the witness's face. Does she seem amused to you? The defense demands an answer. Witness, answer the question. Did you tap her phone? Miss May, shut up. All of you. What gives you the right to talk to me like that? You lawyer. It's no fair. All of you ganging up on me like that. Oh, so I'm the bad girl. Is that it? Is that it? That did it. The court's seen the real Miss April May now. Now to deal the final blow. Knife, dude. Let's not get ahead of ourselves and put the murder on her just yet. We can't really prove that. Why did you tap her phone? Answer the question. Do I have to? Isn't this a murder trial? Isn't tippity-tapping her irrelevant? Gosh, she's saying exactly what Edgeworth wants her to say. Miss May, you were tapping the victim's phone. I hardly call that irrelevant. Well, this court does not condone the defense's tone on voice. He has a point. Well, Miss May, do you have an explanation for the court? Can you prove you had nothing to do with this murder even though you tapped her phone? Ha! I'd like to see her pull that off. Mr. Lawyer, I saw that evil grin. You were probably thinking, I'd like to see her pull that off, weren't you? Damn, she's good. Well, you're not the first man who thought that. And of course, I can and will. You can't be serious. No way. Way, I say. Way. Oh, and I assure you I'm serious, Mr. Lawyer. Okay, so the killing happened around 9 at night. Why, that's just when I was getting room service from that sweet bellboy. Room service? Iced coffee, I believe it was. Iced coffee, you know, like normal coffee but cold. If you don't drink it quick, the ice melts, and then you have regular cold coffee. Iced coffee? Think I'm making this up? Asked the bellboy. Ergo, the witness was not on the scene at the time of the murder. So where does that leave us? It is my great displeasure to inform you that the witness appears to have been tapping the victim's telephone. However, that is a separate crime with no bearing on the current case whatsoever. Her testimony stands. She saw the defendant, Maya Fey, commit murder. No, they are going to let her just walk away. There is no way I can win this unless I tie Miss May to the murder somehow. Well, does the defense have anything to say? Well, come on, think of something. This is a long case. I didn't expect it to be quite that long. Well, who was she tapping the phone for, and what was the reason? Can I continue? What exactly do you have left to examine, Mr. Wright? Miss April May has admitted to the wiretap, yes, but that bears no relevance to the case at hand. Murder. There is no way you can prove any connection. What if you're not giving me any opportunity to do so? Yeah, indeed, I'm not likely to find any connection. Think this can't be the end, but I'm out of evidence. Then I believe the cross-examination is over. Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have any other witnesses to call? Well, the bellboy, I guess. But that means Maya's guilty? Wait, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright, the defense would like to call the bellboy after all. As I thought. May I remind you, dear Mr. Wright, should you question the bellboy and Miss April May's alibi prove to be solid, then by default your client, Miss Maya Fey, will be pronounced guilty. Are you prepared to accept my condition? Edgeworth, he's got me backed into a corner, but I don't see any other way to take this. I accept. Very well. The court calls the hotel bellboy to the stand. I believe we're ready for the witness to testify. He certainly does look like a bellboy. Yeah, he even brought the thing with him from the hotel. Yes, sir. I received your summons in the middle of work, sir. I'm happy to be of service. That tea set looks rather heavy, so without further ado, the witness may begin his testimony. Very good, sir. I am the head bellboy at the fine Gatewater Hotel, in business for 4 generations. I believe I received a call after 8 in the evening from our guest, Miss May. She asked for an iced coffee to be brought to her at 9 on the dot, sir. I brought it to her at precisely the requested time, of course, and I delivered the iced coffee to our guest, Miss May herself. I see. The defense may begin its cross-examination. Right, I'm ready, I hope. If the murder happened at 9 and she was answering the door at 9 on the dot, then she wasn't at the window at 9, I guess. If I can't prove Miss May was involved with the murder now, Maya will be finished. bellboy at the fine Gatewater Hotel, in business for 4 generations. Yeah, I don't see anything worthy of being pressed here. I believe I received a call after 8 in the evening from our guest, Miss May. Are you sure it was Miss May on the phone? Absolutely, sir. How can you be so certain? I checked Miss May in personally, sir. Not only did I see her in all her stunning radiance, but I also heard her voice, and then I saw them, and I... The point being, I remembered her quite well, sir. Yeah, them. She asked for an iced coffee to be brought to her at 9 on the dot, sir. 9 on the dot, you say? Yes, I confirmed that detail several times. She was watching a program on the TV and wished to drink after she finished, sir. 9, time of the murder. I brought it to her at precisely the requested time, of course. Precisely 9, then. Precisely, exactly, and most definitely, sir. 9 p.m. How can you be so sure? Miss May was quite insistent that it be brought then. Oh, bellboy, I'd like iced coffee at exactly 9. Something like that, sir. Therefore, I knocked on her door at the crack of 9, sir. Why would she be so particular about the time? Is there anything saying that she witnessed it at 9? I might lose points for doing this, but nah, it's not gonna work. Nah, I lost points because of that. Oh, wait. Nah, it's not that. I want to have a look at the character profiles. If I can, but I can't, can I? I have to press him on everything. You are sure it was Miss April May herself? Absolutely, sir. Absolutely? Yes, sir. As in, so very absolutely, sir. It's an endearing mannerism of mine. How come you're so very certain? She, the guest, sir, favored me with an embracer, sir. Embracer? Is that French for embrace? Embrasser? It's French for kiss. Well, it's not translated well. That's not French for kiss. No, it's not. But well, okay, let's go on with it. Why would she have done that? I believe perhaps she was momentarily swayed by my prim demeanor, sir. It was a moment I shall never ever forget, sir. Sounds pretty fishy to me. She wanted to make sure that he would not forget about her. Come time to witness. I think our Miss May was up to something and wanted the bellboy to remember her. Yeah. It's no good. There's nothing there. Is that it? Finally, you understand. This bellboy has absolutely no reason to lie. Now, if you have any decency, you will end this rather tedious cross-examination here. It was a bit tedious. The witness may leave the stand. I can't let this happen, can I? Wait, please wait. Yes, does the defense have something else to add? One last question. Let me ask one last question. Objection! Your Honor, I must object. This charade of justice has gone on long enough. Now, Mr. Edgeworth. Alright, Mr. Wright. I'll give you one more question. That's all. Okay. This is really it now. This is my last chance. What do I ask him about? Check in. Yeah, he did mention something about them being 2 in the room. Tell me about check-in. Tell me about when you checked in Miss May. Oh, alright, very well, sir. My first thought was that she was a beautiful, beautiful person. She's just my type of girl, so it was a disappointment, really. I see. Excuse me, what exactly was a disappointment? Well, I am not without charm, sir, but even I'd have little chance with her lover there. What did he say? What did you say? Rather quite. Bellboy, tell us the truth now. Did Miss May checking with another person? Objection! I object. That was objectionable. Objection overruled. The witness will answer the question. Yes, I see. Why did you not mention this in your testimony? Well, sir, you didn't ask. Nice try. That's the sort of thing you're normally supposed to mention. Yes, quite, indeed. It was the, good barrister here, Mr. Edgeworth, who... He asked me not to mention it if it wasn't specifically asked, sir. You fool! I've done it. I've won. Well, not yet. No, but... Miss April May checked into a twin room with a man, correct? Yes, sir. Then, when you brought them room service, you didn't see that man in the room? That's right, sir. Your Honor, we have just learned of another person involved who may have been the murderer. In light of this new fact, I hold that it's impossible to judge the defendant. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth? And who, Mr. Wright? Who is this other person? Simple. It was... the man with Miss May. Yeah. Who else? The man who checked in with Miss May. Oof. Your Honor, as has been previously revealed, Miss April May was tapping the victim's phone, yet Miss May herself has an alibi at the time of the murder. However, that does not clear the man that was with her. The bellboy saw no one else in the room at the time of the murder. My, what a convenient little setup, but it's too late. Too late? I suppose you'd like it if it was too late, wouldn't you? After all, it was you who hid the presence of the other man from this court. Upstart, amateur. These accusations are ludicrous. Enough. The court acknowledges the defense's argument. I accept the prosecution and defense to look into this matter fully. Am I understood? Yes, yes, Your Honor. That is all for today, for the trial of Maya Fey. Court is adjourned. September 7th, 2:24 p.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby Number 1. Mr. Wright, you were amazing in there. Really? I think I might be your newest fan. Oh, I was just doing my job, you know. Then again, that other attorney was pretty cool too. Huh? That face of his, with his eyes wide and trembling lips. It sent shivers up my spine. If you say so. So, what happens with me? Do I get to go home now? Well... No, I don't think so. Not yet. Oh, I see. But I got a great lead in today's trial. A lead? That man with Miss May. He's the key. Oh, I get it. What happened to Miss May after that anyway? I heard they arrested her. I guess she's learning her charms won't work everywhere. She's probably at the detention center now. I may have to go down there later. Anyway, this case is far from closed. Yes, sir. I'm going to find out more about this man. Do you think he was the one who... Maybe so. Sis, don't worry. I'll find him by tomorrow. I promise. I'm counting on you. Isn't it the work of the police to look for the guy? I asked for a full record of April May's testimony. I thought it might come in handy during the trial tomorrow. But now that I have it, I'm not so sure. Most of her testimony was all lies. In fact, there is only one part that hasn't been stricken from the record. The victim dodged and attacked and ran to the right, but she was caught and struck. I don't know how much good this will do me at all now. Anyway, time to hit the pavement and do some investigating. Maya doesn't belong in that detention center, and it's up to me to set her free. I'm not gonna be done with this case today, unfortunately. It's taking longer than I thought it would. I know the later cases that you have to solve are longer, but I thought this one was going to be only slightly longer than the first one. It's easier than the others because it's only the second one, but there you go. Well, I'm gonna end the stream here because, well, quite frankly, I'm being a bit tired and well, all that reading out loud makes my mouth dry, so I should keep these episodes perhaps a bit shorter than usual. But I will hopefully be back tomorrow with at least the rest of this case. So thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow then for part 2 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Bye bye and enjoy until then.